Hi everyone, Emma here. So you're probably wondering what all this stuff is. So this was friend mail from Diane, and I thought I would try and do a challenge and see how many projects I can make with this stuff. So we're gonna get started with this stuff here. This is, I just adjust the camera here. So this is a knitted wire jewelry cord, and it's got like a like a rubber tube on the inside, and then it's got the wire cord on the outside. So I thought we'd use this along with one of these and do a memory wire bracelet. So let's take a look at what I've put together to add to this, because we're going to need some other stuff. So let's put those aside, and we're going to move this off and put a new mat down. But I forgot I have stuff on my desk here, as always. Oh, there's a little tray here. I want to make sure this doesn't get messed up. Okay, so let's slide this guy down and get my other mat. And just slide that over. And so we have this stuff. Oh, let me enlarge this a bit. So that's this here. Thank you so much, Diane. I know I thanked you a bunch in the other video, but I realized when I ended the video I didn't thank you again, so I want to thank you again. Because I love this stuff. Okay, so this is the idea. We're going to take one of these. We're going to cut these and put it on a memory wire. Let me adjust my lighting here. I feel like there's a little too much shadow going on. I have my camera higher up this time to see, so of course that's why there's probably more shadow. Let me turn that. I'm always making adjustments. Okay, so I'm going to cut pieces of this and then add this on the memory wire. And so initially I was thinking of just doing that by itself with, say, a 1-strand memory wire. But you know what? The whole fun of memory wire is to have the coils, so you have more stuff. So I thought we would add some of these lovely pink beads. These are just Toho 11's Crystal Neon Rosaline. So yeah, it'll take us a little bit to put these on but that's okay, because I kind of wanted to leave it like a little more sleek looking. So let me see what that looks like in front of that, because once I pulled these out, I was starting to think, well, maybe I should put the beads on next to the metal bead. But I really like this white next to it. And you know what? Probably, I'm a retired nurse. It's probably the white that I like from like nursing uniforms. Okay, so we're gonna need, I'm gonna pull these out. I don't know if we'll use them. They're memory wire ends. If you've never seen them, they're amazing. So they're basically a one end whole bead. There's a name for them. I can't think of the name, but I'll just show you. I'll show you with the big one, which is gold. So it has a hole on one side only, so that you can put it, you glue this to the end of your memory wire, so it has a nice finished end rather than turning your memory wire. But we can also turn them too, so that's why I'm like, I don't know, I might want to put some like dangle on the end or whatever. But I have some silver ones. I've never used them. They're super tiny. I don't know if it'll fit on the, oh, the hole looks actually pretty big. Let me get my memory wire. So you're going to need some memory wire for this. So I've got a big package. I'm sure I have some somewhere that's open, but let's get this guy open. Oh, you know what it is? It's in there. So there's like 2 pieces probably. Maybe. Maybe not. Let's pull this out. Yeah, it's all one piece. Okay, so let's get the end here and see if that little bead will fit. Move that so it doesn't spill everywhere. And let's enlarge this a little more so you can see. Yeah, I think these are too small. Okay, there's the hole. Oh no, it fits. Look at that. So that's kind of nice that it's that dainty and small. I think the only reason I have such a small one is that's all they had. And if you're wondering, I'm sure you could order these anywhere, but I got these from Shipwreck Beads years ago. So that one's looks like it's tarnished or something. Okay, so we'll hang on to those. And oh, one other thing I wanted to add to this, a Swarovski heart bead. So maybe we can incorporate that in there too. I think that's all we need. So we're going to need our tools, of course. I'll just let you know right off the bat. You should use your special cutters. These are cutters for memory wire, and they're like they have a long handle, and that's to give you some leverage to cut it. But it also, these are meant to cut tempered steel, and that's what this is. So if you try and cut, you can cut these with your regular nippers, but you'll damage the metal on the nippers. So you're best to get these. I got these for like $5 on Bead or something like that. Something crazy. So they're super cheap. I wouldn't pay, I mean, things have probably gone up since I bought it, but I think maybe I wouldn't pay any more than $10 for a pair of these. So, because you will pay more if you don't look around. And you could probably get them on Amazon too. Okay, so I always cut a bit extra. I mean, I have lots here. So I am thinking the middle row will be this with the ribbon, and then maybe 2 rows of the seed beads top and bottom. And I don't know where we're going to put that heart. We need to think about that. Because I don't want to put the heart in the middle of, say, a seed bead row, because if it's close to this bead will chip the heart. So let's just start with the 3 rows, and then we'll figure out where this is going to go. We may end up leaving it off and just do this. So, okay, so your row you might want to go a little further than the row, but this would be considered one loop where it starts and ends. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then I always go a bit, like leave maybe an inch on each end, each side of this, so that to turn, and also I leave a little extra because inevitably, you know, the turn doesn't look right and you really can't unbend it, so you just have to cut it off and do another one. So that gives you a bit of, I'm working in the mistake phase. But you know what? You can cut it perfectly because you're going to be perfect when you do your turns. Okay, so that's all we do is cut like that. And you can see it's quite a big, but you know what? It didn't take much for me to do it. And if you're worried, set the bottom part of your tool on your table and just push down. So, but I didn't even need to do that, and I have issues with my hands, so that's pretty good. Okay, so now we need to figure out the middle pieces. So there's our 3 this way. I'm a little leery of cutting this right away because it never fails. I cut the wrong length. Imagine that. And we don't need it right away. So I think maybe we should put these guys on first. Sound like a plan? So here's the other thing for this. If we're going to start beading, once we get it down to the other end, we need to know what we're doing with this, whether we turn it or we add that stop bead, because the beads will fall off. You could put a piece of tape on there. You know what? Let's do that. Let's put a piece of tape, because I feel like this is gonna happen organically. And you know what? I happen to have a little sticker here. These little thank you stickers that I use. I'll just fold one over the end, see if it stays on. Like that. That should work. A little unorthodox, but hey, it's my bracelet. I get to do what I want. Oh, these are really pretty. They really match the pink. This was like the first set of beads that I put my hands on. I was like, oh, I know exactly which ones. So let's see how they look on the... So here's a trick too, is I kind of hold on to this part here in this hand, and then I kind of stretch it out a bit, and then use this one to scoop up the beads. So let's see if that works. And you can kind of... It's not going to work. I was going to say you could probably dig it through, but nobody's hopping on there. Hopefully this won't take too long. I should have had one ready to go. But I'm not organized. It's going to look amazing. It's super tiny, but you know what? It's going to look... Take a look here. Let's do this so you can see. That's going to be amazing. Yeah, sweet. It'll be worth the time to put these guys on. So I'm sure I'll get faster as I go here. So I'll just fast forward. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have a fast forward mode on my camera. But you know what? You guys have a fast forward on your device that you're using to watch this. So if this is like super crazy boring, go for it. I won't be offended, because you know what? I won't know. Oh, just kidding. It's quiet here today. It's very unusual that it's quiet in this neighborhood. I mean, it's a quiet neighborhood, period. But you know, there's always something going on. We have like 4 schools just up the hill from us, which is at the end of our street, 5 houses down, is a path that goes through like sports fields, soccer fields, and baseball fields, and then at the top of the hill there's a high school, and there's 3 other schools. So there's always people walking through that path to get down, and then they go by our house and on our street. So yeah, it's coming along. So it's usually stuff going on, but the odd time, like a Good Friday or a storm day, there's like, you don't hear anything going on outside. But that's what happens. Okay, I am gonna bring those down and move my fingers down a bit because I'm worried that it's gonna fall off here. I bought a bead spinner. I do mostly bead weaving, so when I get my beads, sometimes they come on string and they're like in hanks, and I would take them off the hanks and put them in a jar or a baggie or something, some storage. And then I started doing bead embroidery, and I'm like, oh, so now I know why they come on string. It's only taken me 3 years to figure that out. So I'm like, yeah, I think I need a bead spinner. And you know what? I have some bracelet and necklace designs that uses like uneven seed beads, but you do like multiple strands. And I've done a few videos on them, but like that's crazy trying to put all those beads on without the bead spinner. So I don't know, I'd be curious to know, do other people use theirs a lot? And then, you know, there's also the factor that I buy stuff, I'm like, oh, I need this. Is this kind of beater you are? I'm like, I need that. And I like for days I'm obsessed, and I think I start searching for it and the best price and do reviews and blah blah blah. And then I buy it, I'm like so happy I have it. And then it's on my shelf and doesn't get used for like months at a time. So one of the things that I was obsessed with was Kumihimo, and I managed to get a Kumihimo disc at the thrift store for super cheap for a few dollars. And then I ordered some of the little bobbins, and I did maybe 3 or 4 bracelets and really enjoy doing them and love how they turn out. And then like everything's sitting on my desk. I haven't done it again. So, but that's, I have way too much stuff on the go. I was thinking about it, so I bought another Kumihimo disc at Bead with their sale, their 70% off sale. And I don't know, I think some people had mentioned that, you know, they'll have multiple projects on the go, so it's good to have more than one disc. So I was thinking about that. I should have some discs ready to go because I'm finding that my mood is really improved if I do a bracelet every day or do some type of beading every day. And sometimes I'm just in a crappy mood that I can't get over myself to actually pick some stuff out and start a bracelet or whatever. So I thought if I had some of those ready to go with the beads, the designs, whatever, that it might be in a better mood. So, okay, so we're almost at the one time around. And you know what? This is going to be the first row next to this sticker, so we might have to make a decision. I can't make a decision to help me. I need help. I should have done this live so you guys could tell me what to do. And you know what? I keep threatening to do lives. I've done a few before and they are so much fun. But the stupid internet is so slow that it keeps dropping out so people can't comment. So I don't know what to do. Okay, so I think, you know, to make an executive decision. I think we need to glue one of those beads, and maybe what we'll do is we'll do a bead on one side and we'll do a turn on the other so that we can maybe create something with this heart. I have another heart that's an actual, the hole goes from top to bottom instead of side to side, so it's not a bead, it's an actual you know, for pendants. So let's glue this guy. So let me see where my crazy glue is. Why did I organized my desk. Oh. And I think I moved the glue into a drawer. Yep, that's what I did. So I'm sure you can use any glue, jewelry glue for this. I'm just very impatient, so I want it to dry right away so I can continue with this. So I am going to use crazy glue and try not to get it on my fingers. Hopefully that one still has some juice in it. I don't know. And these little containers I bought, and it came, I think I got them on Amazon, it came with like 12 of them or something like that. They're great, but you have to be careful, something that you don't move around a lot. I find this clip sometimes breaks off, and of course, if it opens and this is all over the place. So I use these for findings, that it's on the right of my desk is a little shelf with all my findings. So it doesn't go that far. It's like a reach to here, to there, and it's secure. So I'm wondering which side we should do. Maybe put some glue on the tip. So let me just see if I can get the drop to show up there. Okay, so it's there. So that is all you need. That's even probably a wee bit much, and actually we can just do this. There, that scooped it on, and just make sure it's all the way in. There, I just spun it and it kind of like spread out that little drop of glue. And like I said, there's probably a little too much. Oh, it's stuck now. There is a bit of movement, but I might just let the beads fall and have the bead suck up that glue and have that first bead stuck there anyway. So let's try that. See if that will work. Oh, this is going to be lovely. Okay, so let me see. It feels like it's moving, but it might be just my... Oh! I told you that I'm impatient. Oh, it's now stuck on the... Let's see if we can get this. It was all perfect till I touched it. I may have to go back and put some more on there. And of course that's... Yep, I need some more thoughts. Not good. Why did I... Okay. Should maybe put the drop on this one. There. And then like that. Still feel like it's way too much glue. So I'm moving it back and forth to hopefully suction the glue into the bead. There's a lot of space left, so that might be the issue with this. Okay. Let's see if we, again, use that bead to kind of hold it in place. Like that. Okay. I think we're good, so it'll dry as we're doing the rest of this, and hopefully it won't fall off. So I'm going to try and get all my other beads in place so we have an idea of how much to cut of the tubing. I don't want to press these beads too far and knock that bead off again. There. Oh. I'm just looking to see. I think we need, I don't know if it's just because I've pulled on it. I think we need some more beads because I kind of want it to come past that loop. So let's go. Okay, so now we can take this off. Of course, that stuck really well. It was a good idea. Oh my god, I can't believe it. I can't. I'm worried that the glue is going to be stuck on the end now. And let me just confirm that this is tight. Okay, so that's not going anywhere, so we don't have to worry about that. Let's cut this thing off. Are you having fun yet? Hanging out with Emma. Let's see if we can get that off. Oh, it's good to know that these stickers are that great. I'm not too happy about. Oh yeah, there's like sticky stuff, man. Oh, it's super sticky. I'm just kind of trying to get that sticky stuff off because the beads are gonna get stuck there. Like, did we not have enough problems? Oh, Emma. That's what my wife says when I do stupid stuff like this. She's like, oh, Emma. Oh, Emma. Yes. Yes, mother. 'Twas not my fault. It's my brain. It's like stuck. It'll be fine. I don't have any like alcohol wipes or close by. Okay, so let's get some of these guys on to bring it past that bead. Yep, the things I get into. So I mentioned about Easter when we were kids. You know, it was interesting. We used to do, I mean, it wasn't every year. Okay, so I think probably that is enough. Let's check it. Sometimes one of the churches, not the church we went to all the time, but one of the churches was, like, we lived on St. Paul Street. Ooh, I need to put my lid on my glue. So the next street over was St. Paul's Church in Toronto. It's a big church. And so it wouldn't be uncommon. And my mom was really very religious. So we would go during Lent. I don't know if it was every Wednesday night or every night during the week, where you could go to do the Stations of the Cross. And what that is, if you're not Catholic, okay, so I want it a little bit more past. So let's add a few more here. Find the end. So in this church, they had the Stations of the Cross, and I can't remember how many stations there are, but it basically tells the story of Jesus when he gets arrested and comes in to the crucifixion. And so in the church, all around the sides of the church, on the walls, there's these plaster plaques that are like sculptures, but they look like photographs. So they're, they're about that thick, but so they're sculpted. They're beautiful. And it has each one of these Stations of the Cross, and you would go through and you would read the Bible excerpt related to that cross, and then you'd move to the next one, you'd go through the story. And I guess the idea is to kind of meditate and reflect on that. So that was one thing that I really looked forward to doing. But a big part of that was that church was I want to say rich church. It was just incredible. The artwork in there and those Stations of the Cross were so beautiful that, part of it for me was appreciating the artwork. Okay, so we're ready. We're ready. Are you ready? So let's see if we can figure out where the middle is going to be for this. And I want to, okay, so we don't need those anymore. Let's move these guys aside and put this down. So we got our bead there, and we've got these guys. So let's cut one of these off so we know where to put it. And we'll put those aside. So let's say there. Actually, turn this a bit. It's not going to matter too much. I mean, it's going to be, you want to try and get it in the middle, but it's not that big a deal. So then we're going to take this, and you can see there's where the beads stop. So these may not be the same size. I mean, we can make them the same size, so then the other tube will stop around here. So we're going to do something like that. These need to be rounded a bit. And they're quite pliable, so that's good. So there. Let's say there. And because this is metal, I think I'm going to try my nippers on these guys. Hopefully it won't like bend the metal too much. Oh, that's perfect. Look at that. Just double check. Yeah. So this is probably a little long because you see how it's passing. We want it to be in this area here because this would be, but again, I'm not going to worry too much. I don't know that I want to like shorten it. I want to preserve. Maybe we better. So let's just clip a little. It doesn't need much to come off there. And that should be good. I'm just going to check, make sure there's no like, if you squeeze it, it kind of folds the metal inward. And the reason in doing that is you don't want that stuff sticking into your arm. It's wire. It's wire. Okay. So actually, before we put it on, I want to measure it another, like cut another piece to go on the other side. So let's just go like this, line her up, and cut the second piece. And there's still lots of stuff left. Make sure there's no pieces. So let's get this guy on. That goes on super easy. Look at that. This is gonna be amazing. Oh, I can't believe it. Okay, so put the bead on. So it looks great, but you know what? I think we need a bead here, like a bigger bead to kind of, and I'm wondering if I had one that would actually overlap this a bit so that, because this looks a bit unfinished. So let's see what I have in my like spacer beads, silver spacer beads. I'm pretty sure I have some lovely stuff. I'm thinking maybe one of these. Well, you know what? Actually, these. You know what? It actually fits over it a bit. Okay, so let's we'll put two of these. I wonder if we should put one on the other end too. Okay, so let's take 4 of these to start with. Let's see how that. Now, I kind of like these matte silver beads, so I'm wondering if next to this we put the matte silver, how that would look. So this would go on the tube side, and then this would go next to the bead. So let's pull out 2. I have small ones and I have medium ones, but I think the medium ones are too big. Would look too strange. I don't know. I'll pull 2 of those out too. Okay, let's start with that. I think that's. I don't want to overcomplicate it. I want this to be as sleek and simple as possible. So let's go back. This is fun beading. I'll tell you why. I overthink a lot of stuff and I like doing new complex designs and whatnot. So sometimes I don't actually sit at my desk and just say, okay, I'm going to make a bracelet and just pull stuff out. And you know what? I see other people doing it. Like I see Brittany from Turquoise Street do it. And I'm like, oh, that's so much fun. And the thing that blows me away is that you come up with ideas that you wouldn't normally come up with because you're just like, oh, let's try this. So that looks lovely with those beads. So then we need the tube. Oh, no, we need a spacer. Oh, that's lovely. Come on, of course it is. So let's get this tube back on. And let me just. So it's still a bit because of the wire sticking out, but I think we can kind of figure out a way to. Maybe if we glued it, but it's pushing the wires down. Okay, so let's just put it on and we'll fine tune it later. Oh, this. Okay. Do you see what I see? Wait till I get it down. Look at how incredible that looks. That looks like that was all meant to be together, this area here. That's pretty awesome. So you could, like, this rubber does move a bit, so you could get it in there and just maybe glue those wires down or something. So I might figure out that later, but oh, look what I did. I wove there. It went through the wire loop. Okay, so let's do this side. So we want a spacer. And so this side we're doing the ribbon bead. So I think we need a bigger bead for this side, like this. Because otherwise, there's the small one, like that. So let's try the big one. We'll take it off. We don't like it. Again, looks amazing. Those three pieces together. Okay, so then this guy. Let's see what that looks like. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, looks good with the big kind of. I try to match the size of, like, say, your clasp or your bead with the other beads in the same kind of size, either the same size or one step down or one step up, but usually one step down. If I were to put this tiny bead, it would look weird. So that's just my little trick. So now we need a big bead to go on the other side and a spacer. I'm just going to tilt my camera down. It's tilted forward, so my hands are low on the screen. So I apologize for that. Then put your tube on, your second half. Then, because we're going next to the tube, we want to use that kind of to finish it off. And then a small bead. This is looking amazing. Look at that. That's crazy. I'm surprised myself. This is amazing. So now we're just going to put a bunch. Yeah, you know what? As much as I love this, I think this is perfect the way it is. So I think we're going to leave it. We'll use that for something else. So let's get some of these guys. And I think it's so lovely how it ended here. It's so dainty. I think we should do the same on the other side. So let me just put this out to see where it's okay. And so I just hold on to this and start grabbing these guys. This is really lovely. Do you know what I feel I need to do? Is make a bunch of these and give them to people. I'll do as many as I can get with this tube, and I'll have to find out from Diane where she bought her tube. The pink ribbon beads are Michael's. So, speaking of pink ribbon, I am still waiting for my surgical date to get a breast biopsy. I went swimming yesterday with my wife, and we're like master swimmers, so we swim when we go to swim, when I say I'm going to the pool for a swim, it's not a leisure swim. It's a 1 hour nonstop workout is what we do in the pool. But I've been losing weight, and bathing suit I have, most of the bathing suits we have are super tight. They're competitive bathing suits, so they're polyester, so they don't break down, and they're nice and tight so that you're aerodynamic in the water. And as you know, ladies, as we get older, the girls don't stay in place. They get very flippy floppy. So I said to her, I was shocked that just, I don't know, maybe 10 pounds I've lost, that the bathing suit's loose on my butt at the front, and on the girls. So you're swimming and swimming, and then you go to get out of the pool, and they're half hanging out the side. I'm like, ladies, get back to where you both belong. Let me get this all in place. Okay, we got a bit left. Yeah, but there's nobody at the pool. Nobody cares. I have to tell you though, we have special programs at the sports facility. It's run through the city, so they always have different community programs and stuff. So they had programs for immigrants, so they could have access to the pool. And there was this one old guy that would bring his grandsons to the pool, and you know, they swimsuits are a suggestion. You swim with whatever you have, so oftentimes they'll swim with boxer shorts. And of course, you know, when boxer shorts get wet, they stick to your skin. And so this old guy's walking around the pool, and the lifeguards are trying to talk to him, explain to him, and he doesn't understand. And they're trying to explain, you have to put on a bathing suit. We can see things that we don't want to see. Oh my gosh. Just me and my wife were just shaking our heads. But you know what? He's not the only. We have Canadians that can speak English perfectly well and understand social setting norms and stuff like that. Wear like probably a 30-year-old bathing suit. You can imagine the chlorine has destroyed it, and everything's loose, and this old guy's walking around the pool, and the bathing suit's not doing the job it's supposed to do. And again, these poor like 18-year-old lifeguards are going, excuse me, you're gonna need to cover up. Things are falling out. Okay, I thought I was close, but not yet. Almost there. This is looking pretty awesome. Like that. Okay, so we just have a little bit to go. You want to hear some more of my stories? I had so much fun when I was nursing on the Alzheimer's units. The patients that I dealt with, oh goodness, excuse me. So the generation of patients that I dealt with on the Alzheimer's unit were those that survived the Great Depression and participated in World War II, served in World War II. And I just found that generation had such a positive attitude about everything, and positive in the way that it's like what could be worse, than to be stuck on an Alzheimer's unit? But their personality would still come through, and they were always positive. So they were always making jokes and always really, um, worked with you to do stuff. And if you asked them to do certain things, for the most part, I mean, there were Alzheimer's patients that were combative, that were so confused that anything you did was not good. I have a few to go, but I'm gonna get that second bead out and my glue, get it ready. So yeah, they were so funny. Had one lady that used to collect utensils, and then of course she didn't know which one was her room, so she would hide them in other people's rooms. Then other patients would come up and they're like, this person has like 20 forks under my pillow. Can you do something? Okay. Fun times. So, I'm a bit early here, so let's finish this up first. Let me grab that so it doesn't come off. And I want to make sure those are on. So it's getting a little more tight. So what I'm doing is I'm again holding this out and stretching it out. I've got all my beads pushed down as far as I can get them, and I'm holding these ones from falling off, and hopefully I can get the last maybe 4 or 5 on here. Just take these a little easier. Actually, you know what? Make sure you leave a tip for the bead, the metal. Ooh, I had some space there. I think I might leave that amount of space. No, one more. And then, I don't know, one more is not gonna be enough space. Oh, maybe. So that is, let's hang on to that way. Let's see how we can do it this time. Okay, so I've turned the bead so that you can see the hole is up. I'm going to put a drop in it, and then I'm going to poke it with that one, and hopefully, fingers crossed, everyone, hopefully this will. And stick my finger. There. But let's just wait till that gets nicely stuck in there. This is beautiful. Wow, this turned out amazing. Look at that. That is really lovely. And it just, every part of it looks gorgeous and elegant. I'm kind of stunned. No, this is a design. I'm going to do a bunch of these and have them as gifts for people. That is lovely. Oh. So thank you for joining me. So this is number 1. Let's see how many I can get of other designs using all the stuff that I could get done. But you know what? I'm kind of stuck on this one. I'm like, ooh, let me make a bunch of these right now. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me test this bead because I think I'd like to show it to you on my wrist, but I don't want to pop that bead off. That one's tight. This is the one I think we just added. Okay, let's see if I can get it on there without too much. I didn't know if this is how you're supposed to put them on. Maybe you could let me know. There. Oh my goodness. That is incredible. Wow. I'm stunned. This looks amazing. This, get that up there. Try and get the little beads underneath again. Super duper. There. It's just like, I don't know why it's doing that. There. Ta-da. Trying to turn my hand upside down there. There you go. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, you might see a bunch of these. It's time to do some memory wire. Fun again. Take care, everybody. And thanks, Diane. Bye, everybody.